All right, hey guys, I'm recording this video for you so you have an answer key. This will be the answer key for the PDF assignment that you have. Um, Make sure that you do it first. You want to go through. If you are stuck, you can use the video to help you with some guidance, but make sure you're getting the practice here on your own. So again, this is all elimination. Uh, Again, remember there's more than one way to do it, so you might have done it a slightly different way, and you could be correct. Okay, so without further ado, peace. Get rid of my ugly mug, and let's get started. So for number one here, we have opposites already sitting here with our x's. So I know I can add these two equations together, and I'm going to eliminate the x. So let's go ahead and add our equations together. 2x and negative 2x, that is 0. Negative 9y and negative 8y is negative 17y. Negative 15 and negative 2 is negative 17. So divide both sides by negative 17. And y is going to equal 1. So I know my answer for y. Remember then, you choose the equation that you want to work with. Won't you let me choose a new color? Well, anyways, 2x. So I'm going to choose the top one. 2x minus 9y equals negative 15. I know the answer for y is 1, so I'm putting that number in place of the y. So I'd have 2x minus 9 times 1 equals negative 1. And that's the equation that I need to solve. So 2x, negative 9 times 1 is negative 9. Okay, need to add 9 to both sides. I would get 2x equals 8. Divide both sides by 2. And x equals 4. So my ordered pair would be 4, 1 for this first problem. 4, 1. Number 2. Okay, for number 2, what I notice is that the y's are exactly the same. Those y's are exactly the same. So what I want to do on this one, since the y's are exactly the same, is I'm actually going to subtract. So I want to remind you the way I've been doing the subtract. If I do subtract here, that essentially is going to change the sign of all three of these numbers. So instead of 9x, it's going to be minus 9x. Instead of 2y, it's going to be minus 2y. And instead of positive 1, it's going to be minus 1. And now I can add my equations together. So 5x minus 9x is negative 4x. 2y minus 2y is 0. And 5 minus 1 is 4. To solve, divide both sides by negative 4. And x equals negative 1. So I have my answer for x at this point. Again, choose which equation you want to work with. Personally, I like the top one, so that's the one I'm going to choose to use. So I have 5x plus 2y equals 5. I know the answer for x is negative 1. So we'll put that answer in there. And 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. And solve my equation. For this one, I would have to add 5 to both sides. That's going to give me 2y equals 10. Divide both sides by 2. And y equals 5. So it's an ordered pair. X is negative 1. And y is 5. Okay? So that's the first two. Now, with the second two, number 3 and number 4, we are going to find some similarities. But with number 3, I don't see a way to just eliminate with add and subtract. I can't just straight up add and subtract and get something eliminated. So I have to make a personal decision on which letter I would like to eliminate. And remember, there's different ways to do this. I personally am going to choose to work with my x's. And what I notice is that if I multiply the top equation by 3, that's going to give me a 3x. The bottom one already has a negative 3x, so those would be opposites. And if I have opposites, I can add my equations together and eliminate. So I'm going to multiply all 3 of those by 3. So that is going to give me 3x minus 12y equals 3 times 23 is 69. The bottom, we keep it all the same. So we've got negative 3x minus 2y equals negative 13. Now from here, let's add these together. That's 0. I have negative 14y. And 69 minus 13 is 56. Divide both sides by negative 14. And 56 divided by negative 14 is negative 4. Okay? So I got negative 4. Now, I still need to go back and I need to figure out my answer for y. So I'm going to choose my top equation that I started with, the x minus 4y equals 23. I know the answer for y is negative 4, so that's what I am placing in the spot where I have the y. So I have x minus 4 times negative 4 equals 23. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. And it's all subtract 16 on both sides. And I get x equals 7. So my answer for x is 7. And my answer for y is negative 4. Okay. The very last one, number 4. For this particular problem, there's not a quick way. I cannot just add these together and eliminate. I can't subtract and eliminate. And there's no just quick way, how I multiplied to number 3. I just multiplied by the 3 on the top one. So I want to remind you of, if you're ever in doubt, you can just kind of use the front numbers to help you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the top by 5. And I'm going to multiply the bottom one by 6. So that's going to give me 30x and 30x. Those are the same, and I prefer opposites. So then what I usually do is I will just quickly go and change one of those to a negative. So I know I'm going to have a 30x on top and a negative 30x on the bottom. That way I can just add my equations and eliminate my x's. So be careful when you actually do all the multiplications. 5 times 6x is 30x. Ooh. 30x. Ooh, my writing's all weird. 5 times 9y be 45y. And 5 times 15 is 75. Okay, on the bottom, everything by negative 6, so it'd be negative 30x. It'd be positive 12y. And negative 6 times 22 is negative 132. Well, add my equations together. That's 0. This would be 57y. Negative 132 plus 75 would be negative 57. Divide both sides by 57, and y is negative 1. So I have my answer for y. Now it's time to get my answer for x. So you decide which one you want to work with. I'm going to work with the top one. So I'm going to work with the 6x plus 9y equals 15. I know the answer for y is -1. So I need to plug that in. So I have 6x plus 9 times -1 equals 15. 9 times -1 is -9. And I solve my equation. So I would have to add 9 to both sides. That's going to give me 6x equals 24. Divide both sides by 6, and x equals +4. So I would have the answer for -1. Okay? Now, let's make sure that you have this submitted. You can do it on paper if you choose to. Make sure you have it submitted. Either submit the picture or submit the file that you worked on your iPad. Okay, either way is fine. And we will hopefully see you on Wednesday.